Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 25th. We're going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. Sorry, I forgot to pull this card here. You start off with this Chaos card. I'm pretty sure you're the second sign this week to have this Chaos card. It is coming up in your past position, so I feel like maybe you've had like tower moments or, clearly like everybody else. This is the problem when you're moving here, Gemini, is that you don't have the stuff that you're used to, and, you have Italian hands, so then you're throwing your hands all over the place, right? But anyway, I feel like there has been some chaos in the past. Luckily, it's coming up in the past position. Also, luckily, you have this new moon card, which says a new beginning on it. And you have the Ten of Swords over here and the Ace of Wands. Clearly, some sort of new beginning energy is what I would say. You have this Clean It Up card as well at the end. And I do feel that Clean It Up card is kind of like saying, get very specific about what you want. It's like almost asking you to, clean up your vibration or clean up your vision of how you want something to look like. But let's see. You have this Chaos card, like I said. They're probably, look, it's like a lightning right here, just like the Tower card. So I feel like there have been like tower moments and things like that. I find it interesting. I didn't really look at this card the first time I read it, which was, I think it was in like Cancer's reading or something. There's like a forest fire down here. And, the whole point of a forest fire is like when a forest burns down, it always grows back like 1,000 times stronger because all the nutrients are returned to the soil. And that's kind of like jumping out at me on your card here. It's like maybe you have experienced, a burning down of things in your life, a total loss. But I feel like you need to realize that things are growing back. Ace of Wands. I literally say with the Ace of Wands, that it's like the spark of life. It is like that root going down into the soil. So to me, the Ace of Wands is kind of like that initial spark of life. And that's what this reading feels like to me. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, really, Ten of Swords, something being dead, done, over with, moving on from something. There is right here, he is making a symbol with his hands. And that symbol is the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card, and it represents blessings. So, again, in death, there is life. That's the whole point of the Ten of Swords. You have the Two of Pentacles, which says maybe you were burning yourself out. Maybe you were getting too tired or, whatever the case may be. And with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like it's just time for a change. A lot of people have been getting the Seven of Pentacles. And as I say to everyone, Seven of Pentacles is like a change in direction. He's looking at those pentacles. It's a good card. He's, kind of looking at everything that he's grown, everything that he's done. But usually he wants to change. He wants to grow something different. He's kind of looking and saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to invest in this situation? So I feel for a lot of you that you scorched earth, you burnt down something, maybe for the better, clearly. I feel everything here could have been a job loss for some of you, could have been, a business loss that you already experienced. For others, it could be a relationship loss as well. Again, next you have this new moon card. It says a new start is coming. And you also have this starfish card as well. I love this starfish card in this deck. This is this one here, whatever it's called. I always forget. Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And the starfish kind of says that, it can move in any direction. It has those 5 legs or arms there, and it can move in any direction that it wants. So I feel like you need to realize that there's like a new beginning that you're about to have. And what I feel like this is saying is that a new beginning could actually be much easier than you think. The reason I say that is that your first card is the Ten of Wands. So what I would say to you is that if you're experiencing a new beginning right now, that I would look at it, whatever it is that you're starting, whether it's a business, a new relationship, a new job, moving, whatever this new beginning you're having is, I kind of feel like this is saying, like, there's no need to make it harder than it needs to be. And again, this is not a criticism. Like, I feel like this is a good thing. I almost feel like this reading is like saying, hey, if you have, I'll just tell you, you have the Ten of Wands, Ace of Wands, Three of Pentacles. It's almost like if you gain a new perspective, you can see that these people here, they're all looking at the same thing. But it kind of reminds me of a story. It's like, there's kind of like an old story. I actually don't know what the story is, just so you know. But, there's an old story that if you have two people and they're both looking at a statue, right? Like a carved statue of like a person. And they're looking at it from a different perspective. They're both seeing the same statue, but they're kind of seeing something different because they're looking at it from different positions, right? So it's like if you're on this side or this side, you're looking at it, but it might look different from the two sides. That's kind of like popping into my head here with the Three of Pentacles. They're both looking at the same thing. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. It's like, it doesn't matter how the work gets done. It's quality work, but they might be seeing different things. And I kind of feel that for you but I feel like this is more important from kind of like a community aspect. So it's like, if you're doing something, especially starting something new that you desire to start, like a new relationship, new business, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I feel like getting other people to maybe take a look at it could be very beneficial. You don't even have to do that. Three of Pentacles, you could just be learning from another person. So again, if you're thinking about starting a business or, a job or whatever you're starting, I would make sure to kind of look at different ways of doing things. I would really study and learn, because it's almost as if there's, again, I feel like you'll be successful no matter what. I just feel like one way is less of a struggle, right? Is what I would say here with that 10 of Wands. It's like, one way is much, much easier, and the other way is maybe going to take longer or whatever. And you even have this Clean It Up card. It's pretty simple reading. The Clean It Up card could represent, kind of cleaning up your vibration, literally cleaning things up. But I kind of feel like it's saying clean up the way that you're about to do something with that Ace of Wands. It's like, I feel like making things more efficient is super important right now. I keep telling people, it's like, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, we still have Pluto in Capricorn. And I'll tell you what, the thing about Capricorn is, to me, it represents like efficiency. It's like whatever's in Capricorn doesn't matter to me. When planets are in Capricorn, especially something like Pluto, which is like really, truly generational, but still, when something is in there, plus we had Saturn, starting in 2017, we had Saturn in Capricorn. It's left now, but, it was in there. And again, I think something people need to realize about astrology, it's like, okay, we had Saturn in Capricorn. It's going to be, 20-something years before Saturn comes back to Capricorn. What does that mean? It means that for the next 20-something years, we still have to practice those lessons, because, we're still, most of us, going to be alive when Saturn comes back to Capricorn in 20-something years, right? And so we're going to still be alive. And Saturn is going to say, did you learn my lessons? Right? Or not? It's like people are always crap their pants about their Saturn return. And I'm like, Saturn return is very easy. It's like, especially when you have your 60-year-old Saturn return, right? It's like, did you learn over the last 30 years, did you learn the lessons? Did you learn what I taught you when I was here the first time? And again, I think in 30 years, the lesson, or less than 30 years at this point, the lesson will be, did you learn to make things easier? Did you learn efficiency, right? And if the answer is yes, then you will be rewarded in 30 years. And people always say to me, yeah, but in 30 years, I won't even know if I want rewards and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, in 30 years, it's going to be 30 years anyway, as Jim Rohn says, right? Well, actually, I think it's Brian Tracy. He says in 5 years, it'll be 5 years anyway. But I love that quote, because it always reminds, whenever I'm like, out there and I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to wait like 5 years for this, or I have to wait 10 years for this. I'm like, well, in 10 years, it's going to be 10 years anyway. So might as well get the rewards. You have the Emperor, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Cups. I do feel for some of you, there could be, I just feel fire in general, like very fiery energy. So I feel like there could be a fiery energy type person coming in for you if you are looking for love, for example. Even if you're not looking for love, I do feel there could be a person in your life, just looking around here, that is extremely helpful. For some of you, I'm getting like a sibling. So again, if you're Three of Pentacles looking to make things easier, there could just be a person who really makes things a lot easier for you. And, it's just something I would look into. Again, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, card of curiosity. And like I was saying, with that Ace of Wands, I would really learn as much as you can. I feel like education is going to be super, super helpful for you. And just like, sometimes I think learning from a person is better, especially if you find a person like a mentor, because they know things that you don't, right? It's like, it kind of just reminds me of so many things, in life, where it's like, I've learned, I wanted to be a chef when I was younger, learning cooking, and I learned from a person who was a chef before. And it's like, you can learn a lot from watching YouTube videos. You can learn a lot from reading cooking books, for example. But, what I learned from that guy was, like, I learned little tricks that you just can't learn from a book, right? And I kind of get that feeling for you here with this Page of Swords. I feel like it's asking you to kind of, maybe learn some, little tricks and some little like nuances, especially for those of you that are working on projects or businesses. I feel like there are things that you can learn from like a book, but then there are other things that you can only learn from like experiencing it, whatever it is, right? And so I do feel that Page of Swords. Oh, kind of weird message. I'm not gonna lie, but I just feel. But to me, again, there are just some things you can't learn from a book, right? You just have to learn from either a person or through failure or through experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing. I see that as super important for some reason with this Page of Swords. And again, I feel like I wouldn't really call them shortcuts, but what I would say is I feel like the shortcut I'm getting here is learning from an expert. And again, today, there are plenty of YouTube channels that teach cooking tricks, for example, right? So I feel like doing as much research as you can, even if you can't physically in person learn from a person, I feel like the knowledge exists. So I would be finding it with that Page of Swords. With the Four of Cups, again, I feel like maybe what's stopping you is past disappointments. I see this for everyone. Everybody keeps getting the Four of Cups, but I don't know. I feel like things are improving for you here in general. Let's see what is going on. We're just going to clarify this here, Gemini. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups. Every single person has had the King of Cups or the Queen of Cups for like the past 2 weeks. And as I've said to everyone, we're in this time where we had that Cancer moon recently, whatever that was, a couple weeks ago now at the time of this video, or actually, if you're watching this on the 25th. And, I really feel that Cancer moon was kind of like saying, how do you feel about the things you are working on? How do you feel about your life? And I think that's why the King of Cups has been, and the Queen of Cups has been coming up so much over the past few weeks. And if we move towards the things that we feel are right in our life, then I feel like we'll be more successful than if we don't. Just that simple. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Six of Wands. Again, growth, success. I always say that on the Six of Wands, the guy who is being cheered on the Six of Wands, he has been to war. He has been through, he's being, cheered on. He's successful, but he's been through a very difficult period of time. So I feel like you're almost being rewarded for this chaos for the burning down with that card. With the Six of Pentacles, here you go. Six of Swords. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have 2 6s. I love 2 6s in the tarot. 2 6s to me kind of says you're like going in the right direction. It's almost like confirmation for your path. 6 of Swords is moving on to calmer shores, so definitely improvements here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Lovers, so definitely, excuse me, 2 paths, right? Lovers could be love, and I definitely feel there could be love coming in for you here. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the Lovers is being at a crossroads. Traditionally, the Lovers was a card of the crossroads. It's like you have 2 choices. You have 2 directions that you could choose to go in. Again, one is a little bit more challenging. One is easier. I like to remind people that we're all here for different reasons. I don't believe that we ever truly make a wrong decision or a wrong choice because you made it. No matter what, whether it feels right or it feels wrong, right? But I do feel that with a little bit of research, again, whatever it is that you're doing, starting in whatever new thing is coming up, new business, new job, new relationship, new health routine, I feel like there's just a little bit of research will kind of provide, a much better way of doing things. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Are you kidding me? With the Ace of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups. Like I said, almost every single person has had these 2 cards. You happen to have them together, which is great. I do feel there could be love coming in for you, very passionate type of situation. It's also funny to me that she is pointing down to the Seven of Pentacles and Six of Swords. It's kind of like, is it worth it to get into a new relationship? I've been disappointed a lot in the past with the Four of Cups, so I kind of feel like you might be going a little bit back and forth on love. Like I said, I don't know. Will you make up your mind? We'll find out in a minute. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. Again, no joke. This is my card of the mentor. You've probably heard me say, I say it all the time with the King of Swords. To me, he represents a person where if you have a problem, he has a very easy solution. I always look at the King of Swords as like a doctor, a lawyer, like some sort of expert, someone who really has some answers. And it doesn't matter what gender, but I do feel like there is a person who is like a mentor, who is an expert at something. And I feel like they have information that's just like so much more helpful. Again, it's like, I don't remember who I was listening to, but a while ago I was listening to someone, and they were talking about how really we should be starting to see things accelerate, as in like our innovations in the world, because it's like we have all this collective knowledge in books, on YouTube, and all this other stuff from people who have like set out and done things, right? And I just feel like there's like collective knowledge. There's, like a book or a YouTube video or a movie or something that has some answers based off of what you're starting. And again, I feel like, I don't want to say it makes things easy, I think it is less of a burden than maybe the path that you're thinking about going on right now, right? So I kind of feel like this reading is saying don't overcomplicate things like I'm doing right now in your reading. With the Emperor, you have the Four Wands, marriage. So definitely could be marriage coming in for you. Again, you have water here. I just feel like the water is talking about an emotional connection. If I'm being honest, I feel more fire energy. It could be a water sign who has a bunch of fire in their chart. It could be, again, I've met plenty of fire signs that have just a little bit of fire in their chart, but they're very fiery. You know, they take action, they do things, they're bold, assertive, courageous, you know, all those things. So it could be any sign. But I do feel like it's a person who's very bold, assertive, you know, kind of very fiery, and it could lead to marriage. With the Page of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles, a lot of sixes here. I love the sixes. Six of Pentacles is about planting seeds. It's like about if I take this action, what is the result that I get from the actions I take? Six of Pentacles to me is a card of experimentation as well. But I feel like there's a lot of balance coming in for you. And again, if you're worried about love, Six of Pentacles just says put a little energy in. Like I've been saying all year, justice basically is the answer to 2022. If we put a little energy into something, we get energy back. Keep going. If you don't, stop. With the Four of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, material success on the horizon. So I do feel like there is success coming in for you. But more importantly, I feel like this reading is saying there's just a much easier, again, I wouldn't say easier, but just simpler way of doing the new thing that you're about to do, and I feel like it's going to lead to success like faster. Four of Wands is an accomplishment. Six of Wands, you have a lot of cards of accomplishment here. Eight of Pentacles is results. So I love this for you, Gemini. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff coming in for you. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.